Her name lit my phone at 2:17 a.m. Not a call, a message. 3 words. I miss you. No punctuation, no explanation. Just enough to reopen a wound she had insisted didn't exist. I was standing in our kitchen, barefoot on cold tile, holding the glass she used to drink from when she couldn't sleep. The house still smelled like her shampoo. Habit is the slowest thing to die. I stared at the screen, after everything she'd said, after the way she left. Too safe, she had called me, as if stability were a disease. The message vibrated once more. Are you awake? Of course I was. I had been awake for 26 nights, not from heartbreak, from calculation. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened the drawer where I kept the documents she didn't know existed, the ones that explained why her timing was unfortunate. Outside, a car door slammed. Somewhere in the city, someone was making the same mistake she already had. And for the first time since she walked out with a stranger's hand in hers, I smiled. She left quickly, efficiency disguised as bravery, said she needed excitement, said I was predictable, said love should feel dangerous. She packed light, didn't take the framed photos, didn't take the books we pretended to read together, only her clothes and the new confidence she'd borrowed from someone else. I stood in the doorway and watched her go, memorizing the slope of her shoulders, the way guilt made her walk faster. No screaming, no begging. That confused her more than anger ever could. For days afterward, the apartment whispered, 2 toothbrushes, 1 heartbeat. Friends told me she'd met someone at her new firm, a consultant, older, married. I pretended not to care, but at night, alone with my thoughts, details began arranging themselves into patterns. The sudden gym memberships, the locked phone, the way she stopped asking about my day. Not betrayal, preparation. Still, I said nothing. I wanted certainty, and certainty, I knew, would be cruel. I became an archivist of her absence, phone records first, not illegally, methodically. Shared cloud accounts have loose edges, calls at odd hours, messages erased but not forgotten by servers that never sleep. Then observations. I learned her new routines, the cafe she pretended she discovered by accident, the building where she lingered too long before coming home, back when home still meant me. I followed once, didn't confront, just watched her laugh in a way she hadn't with me in years. That night I ordered a background check, not on her, on him. What came back wasn't what I expected. No scandals, no crimes, just a financial pattern that made my stomach tighten. Shell companies, rapid transfers, a lifestyle far above declared income, and one other thing, a pending investigation. I began to understand. She hadn't traded me for passion, she had traded me for illusion, and illusion, I knew well, always collects interest. The report arrived on a Thursday, printed, signed, undeniable. Her new lover wasn't a consultant. He was a broker laundering money through offshore accounts, currently under federal review. And she, my careful, ambitious wife, had been listed as an unwitting intermediary. Her name on documents she never read, her signature beneath numbers she never questioned. That night I answered her message. This is how regret usually starts. She called immediately, voice shaking, apologetic already without knowing why. We met in a quiet bar she once said was too dull. She reached for my hand. I slid the folder across the table instead. No words, just paper. Her eyes moved, stopped, then shattered. I didn't know, she whispered. I believed her. That was the tragedy. I told her I had already forwarded copies to my lawyer, to an anonymous tip line, not as revenge, as insurance. Her lover would fall, the investigation would widen, and she would be questioned, not charged, but remembered. In firms like hers, reputation is currency. I stood to leave. She grabbed my sleeve. Please, I'll come back. We can fix this. I leaned close, careful, gentle. "You didn't leave me for excitement," I said. "You left because you thought I was small." I let go. And small men don't protect you when the lights turn on. Weeks later, her name surfaced quietly in industry circles. Not scandal, just caution. Offers vanished. Friends distanced themselves. The man disappeared. I sold the apartment, changed my number, stopped checking old messages. Some nights I remember her laugh, not with longing, with curiosity. I wonder who she is now, without admiration to borrow. As for me, I learned something useful. Safety isn't weakness, it's the position you choose when you're the one holding the map. And if she ever writes again, she won't say, "I miss you." She'll say, "Nothing," because silence, at last, belongs to me.